Okay, I guess we'll call the order. All right, meeting called to order. We're a little late, but whatever. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns regarding the minutes?
New entrance procedures at Scarlet Hospital.
I know.
Did anyone have thoughts on the minutes?
No.
Okay,
I move we pass them.
Yeah, who wants to move?
Bonnie?
Bonnie's moving. Anyone seconding?
Second. Pat.
Okay, Pat seconds. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, I guess the minutes are approved. Jack, treasurer's report.
Financial report, as we have been doing for the last 6 years I've been around, we're staying right on the money. I don't have any questions. Does anybody else have any? Hearing none, I move it.
Okay, can I get a second?
You did see that Holly sent a new, did everybody see that she sent a new list of bills about 4:30 today?
Yes,
Yeah.
but we'll get to that in a minute, but treasurer's report, can I get a second on the treasurer's report?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. So looking at the new treasurer's report,
Unpaid
I mean,
bill.
if looking at the new bills that Holly sent, does anyone have any questions regarding the new bills, or anything with the old bills?
General fund is 147, 213, 29.
Anyone want to move it?
I move it.
Can I get a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, I'm not sure who said it first.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the bills are approved in the amount
We got
of,
grant bill.
in the
Grant
amount,
fund is $781.
okay, they're approved in the amount stated. I'm going to
Hey, just a
move
second here.
What?
Are you moving? All right, you're still moving. All
Oh,
right.
no, we moved to pay the bills. We already voted on paying the bills, didn't we?
Yep.
Am I losing my mind?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. I'm
I've had
moving-
issues getting these emails is all.
Oh,
So,
What?
so the email from Holly on my phone, I got it at 12:38 p.m. When I left work on my computer at work at 5:30, it still hadn't come through. I think I've just heard someone. So I don't know. We should look into if there's some delay going on, because there's been other meetings when I haven't got the second report of
Okay.
bills. Just something to maybe we should look into.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
So I move, I'm gonna move that we get Ron to sign the bills or sign the checks because no one is there to sign the checks. Can I get a second, please?
I second it. Ann?
All right, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right.
Nope.
All right. So next is correspondence. Have we gotten any?
Rachel, before we go on, someone's got something playing in the background that's kind of distracting. If
Yes.
you're not actually speaking, could you please mute your microphones? Down in the lower left corner, you should see mute.
Okay, thank you. Correspondence, you got anything?
We got an email from a gentleman by the name of Doug Tiff. He said he's been doing some research recently on the Steele Library website, and he ran into a roadblock. He spoke with Maggie Young on the phone and then scheduled a time to meet with her briefly at the main library. He said she couldn't have been more helpful. She was friendly, patient, and knowledgeable. He was impressed enough that he wants to sing her praises so that we're aware of the great job she's doing.
Nice.
Good. Anything else for correspondence?
No.
Okay, so President's report, that's me. I hope you all got a chance to look at the circulation figures, because you'll notice that we improved a great deal, and while we're not quite at pre-pandemic levels, we seem to be doing pretty darn well in terms of bouncing back. Other things that we should be aware of, there is currently a big spike going on associated with a particular church in Horseheads, the Lighthouse Baptist Church. So it's going to be something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Presumably, if we have a serious outbreak in this county, then the county government and health department will be telling us that we need to shut down. But we just, it's something to be aware of. Be safe, everybody. That's pretty much it from me. Yeah. And now to the director's report.
Okay. You may remember we put some new cameras upstairs. Well, we found out during a recent incident that the upstairs staff cannot see the downstairs camera. We've called Fire Alarm Service Technology. That's the company that installs the cameras. We're trying to get the new cameras online with the monitors upstairs. We may need to purchase a second monitor for upstairs, as the 2 floors are on separate networks. So we're waiting for them to come on in and give me an estimate on what that's going to cost. We did have an issue with, and this came up as a result of honestly, it's a drug deal incident that happened in the children's department. So I banned the individual for 6 months. So our continuing education day is going to be November 6th. We're going to do human trafficking and workplace violence training. And we'll also have to do sexual harassment. Those are the workplace violence and sexual harassment are required from New York State. So we'll get everything taken care of on November 6th.
So do we board members need to recertify in the sexual harassment?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll try to get you the online where you can do it online.
Okay.
Like we did last year.
Is that an every year thing?
It's an
That's
annual
annually.
requirement.
Yeah, okay. November 6th.
So are we once again welcome
Here's
to the annual training day? If
Board members are always welcome.
okay.
It is my hope.
Will that be in person or online?
We're doing everything we can to set it up so it'll be available on Zoom. The issue we have is the woman from New York State doesn't think she can do it Zoom. So we'll at least have the workplace violence and the sexual harassment training online.
And you'll keep us updated on that.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
I need to let you know the bookmobile is not available yet as the repairs haven't been completed. Apparently the company was short-staffed because of holidays and sickness. So they're hoping to get it to us by the end of next week. And the teen services have asked, can teens and tweens stay longer than 30 minutes in order to get homework assignments completed? I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest with you. I can understand that they would need time. My concern is for letting the teens do it, then we should open up the library so that everybody could stay the unlimited time. What are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I think that sets that we have to do it all or nothing, because presumably the teens and tweens aren't going to be there unaccompanied. So then, oh, if I have a kid, I can stay longer. Like it opens up a bunch of uncomfortable questions. So either we have to say everyone can stay an unlimited amount, or we have to be like, sorry, kids, walk out the door and come back in.
What does the staff say?
Well, Doris Jean wants them to be here longer, and we really haven't discussed it with the department heads. I am leaning towards keeping it 30 minutes, again, just to mitigate any problems with people being in here longer than what we're telling the rest of the patrons that they can be here.
I mean, I'm fine with rules lawyering, like literally if they want to walk out of the building and then walk back in, I'm cool with that, but it's making sure that we have, you know, the limited, because the time limit isn't just that we don't want them here too long, it's that we don't want too many people in the building.
Yes.
So.
How many people have been coming to the building at one time?
We've been getting maybe 20 people in the building, but it's only pretty much when we open in the morning. Then the rest of the day, you're getting maybe 10 people, 5 people in the building at a time.
Oh,
It's really
heavens.
been slow.
Yeah.
I could see extending the time. I don't think I would ever go to unlimited right now, but you know, across the library, if we're not at capacity, to increase it to an hour or 2 hours or something like that, maybe do it incrementally. I imagine the other thing would be computer use. That, you know, if someone's coming in and they need to get internet access to computers, 30 minutes is probably pretty limiting.
And I have had a gentleman complain about it only being, when it was 20 minutes, he's complaining now that it's only 30 minutes, but he's the only patron I've heard of who's complaining about a lack of time with the computers.
Is he using, he's one using the computer?
Yes. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, an hour opening up for an hour slots, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a reasonable, like how long are the kids usually in for that they're struggling to complete their homework during that time?
Well, they haven't been in because school's just recently started. So I think Doris Jean is trying to be proactive, and she's trying to make liaison with some other groups that deal with kids.
Yeah, I mean, an hour lets you be able to have a 45-minute meeting if you're a, you know, another kind of a group or something. It does open up a lot more opportunities to use the library.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
All right.
Carl's right. Let's try it. Let's think about an hour for everybody.
Okay.
Is that something we need to vote on or no, because it's not?
It's an operational thing. I think it falls under me. I just wanted to run it by you because
Well, see what the staff says too, I guess. You'll decide.
Right.
Yeah, we'll do that. But I was concerned because I had it in my head half hour, keep everybody at a half hour. But I mean, I can see where giving them an hour would come in handy for folks.
There are
Most
things
people are
on-
coming in and leaving.
I've had to do renew my driver's license, for example, online. And there's still a lot of people. Sue was telling me tonight that where she lives, she does everything by phone and it takes forever for her computer to, there's a lag. So maybe for people like that, an hour would be more reasonable.
Okay. All right, I'll talk to the staff and then I'll let you know what date we decide to do it for an hour. Okay.
It also doesn't sound like the library is being overwhelmed at this point, and I would think an hour would be sufficient for most people, but also allow enough capacity to be controlled with that.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Okay.
I'll get back to you on that. I was asked a question about Horseheads being used as a voting site. It's kind of tight in the meeting room, but I think if we move a little bit of the furniture around, we should be able to have enough room to get the election monitor and the voting booth in the room without too much trouble.
Good.
So
Good.
I recently read an article that was saying that the virus isn't really, you don't really contract the virus off of surfaces. It's all air-to-air transmission. And now I'm wondering, like, do we still need to do the quarantining of objects? Have we had any guidance from that from like state?
No, there's a thing called the Realm Project, and they're the ones who've been doing the research on how long it stays on library materials.
Mm-hmm.
They just recently went to 5 days quarantine.
Oh, wow.
They're recommending 5 days. We're currently doing 4 days, and I had a discussion with Brian Hildreth from STLS. He agrees we should keep it at 4 days. And
Wow.
STLS is going to recommend that to the entire system.
Okay.
I've also heard recently that the flu is very much more surface transferable. So it's probably
Oh.
not a bad idea in general to keep up with those practices.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can.
Okay.
I had a meeting with Paula Gilbert from the CCLD Friends. They're concerned about coming back. I told her at this moment in time, I'm not envisioning volunteers coming back to work. I know, for example, West Elmira has a woman who wants to come back. The earliest they could do it at West, for example, would be October 1st. But here at Steele, it's a little bit different because of where they would be working. They'd be in a lot of contact with staff and people dropping off materials. So they want to hold off for a little while. So I'll talk to them again and see what they're interested in doing.
Okay.
We're promoting voter registration at the branches. Each library's got a small voting display set up with voter registration forms, absentee ballots, and other information from the Board of Elections, such as early voting times and sites. Patrons can pick up an absentee ballot and fill it out and mail it in themselves. Voter registration forms can be handed in to a library staff member. Michelle Barrett is going to collect these after September 23rd, and she will be taking them to the Board of Elections to turn in.
So when's the cutoff date for registering to vote? Is it, what, September 24th, or is it?
The National Voter Registration Day is September 22nd.
Okay.
Um,
Because you want to make sure that she's dropping them off after a point or before the last time they
Correct.
can be registered.
We're going to leave our displays up to October 9th, which is the last day to register to vote in New York.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. We also had that personnel action. That was
Yes.
basically just step increases and whatnot.
Yep.
I move we approve.
Second,
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. Cat, move. Okay. Executive committee, that's me. So we met in like a mix of real and Zoom. And we approved bills and had Ron give a little report about what was going on in the branches, what was going on with the bookmobile. Yeah, you see it. You've got the report in front of you, hopefully. Does anyone have any questions about anything that happened at the executive committee based on the report?
No.
Just that I
Okay.
tried to be there, but couldn't because of my unstable internet.
Yeah, it'll be nice to be back to meeting in person so that we can not have weird delays because the internet hates us.
Yes.
Any sense, Ron, about the ETA of when that might conceivably happen? I guess it would all depend on when the break room gets finished and when all of that other stuff happens. So
It's
probably
actually,
not for a good
it's
long while.
dependent upon how long we're quarantining materials because they're in the auditorium.
Yeah.
And we don't have anywhere else to put them at this point. So unfortunately, unless the governor changes it where we have to start meeting in person again, I think it's going to be for the foreseeable future that we'll be doing Zoom meetings.
Awesome. Okay. Budget and finance, which we kind of already did, but go for it. Jack.
Everything we did in the budget and finance meeting on Wednesday morning, I've already presented to you.
Okay. Awesome. And now buildings and grounds, Carl.
Yep. So building and grounds, I saw there was a big check written for
It's only money.
the boiler room. That was a big check for Holly to write. Is that project complete 100% now?
No, they haven't. They're not 100% complete, and they still have to do the punch list.
What's the punch list?
It's where you identify any issues and they go through and correct them prior to receiving their final payment.
Oh, okay. So it's basically just going through and being like, oh, did you fix everything? Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those last little nagging things that
Are you
contractor doesn't want to do.
already before we, I mean, we paid, Holly wrote the check before we did this?
No, they've been getting interim payment. I think this is, yes, this is the second payment.
Oh,
We always keep a retainage at the end so that they do the punch list before they get their final payment.
oh, good.
And how's the bidding of the kitchen going?
It was advertised in the paper over the weekend. I think they've got till first week of October. And then once we get them, we'll have the bid opening.
Good, and the sign looks good out front.
Yeah, I think it was a good decision to put one up there.
Yeah, you don't have any residential neighbors to worry about all the bright lights and everything. So.
Hey, tell your girlfriend you're in a meeting.
Does not listen.
Okay. Is there anything else to report for buildings and grounds or discuss?
Nope.
No.
All right. On to personnel committee. Penny, do we have anything for personnel?
Where's Penny?
Penny, you're muted.
I just realized that. Didn't realize. No, I have nothing. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that was a quick report. Thank you. Okay. Election and continuity. Phyllis.
Well, we just had our meeting by Zoom a few minutes ago at 5:30. And everything is basically going along well. The main thing was we had a lot of discussion about the absentee ballots, whether we wanted separate ones or would just go with the regular ones. We decided we'd just go with the regular ballots. And Rachel, you said you would bring up.
Yes. So there has been some questions raised about how much we can lean on the library for election resources. So is it okay to ask the staff to hand out the absentee ballots that Sue is leaving for them at the main desk?
Yes, that's permissible.
Can we ask can we ask Holly to keep an eye out for ballots as they come in if we get mail-in ballots?
Yes.
Can we use like stamps from the library stash? If people request ballots from us, the idea was that we would send them a self-addressed envelope with the ballot so that they could mail it back to us. But is it okay if we use library postage?
I don't know.
I got to check on that one.
Okay, so if you could get back to us, then we will let Sue know. So we're good on staff handing out absentee ballots, and we're good on Holly keeping an eye out for absentee ballots. Excellent. Other question is, Who was it who reports the budget to the Board of Elections so it can get on the ballot?
I do.
Okay, and that's already happened. We're
That
good.
is already taken care of. That happened, gosh, before the end of July.
Oh, excellent. It just occurred to me as we were having our election meeting that I was like, hey, who does that? So good to know that happened. Next question is, can I get a volunteer or volunteers to write to the newspaper and do like some kind of editorial why you should vote for the library budget? Anyone want to do that?
Yes, I'll do it. It's Ann.
Okay. Thank you, Ann.
I think more than Ann should do it. I think.
Yes, I was planning on doing one myself, but I figure having multiple people would be handy.
Yeah, and I think Ron suggested that we wait until, what is it, October something? There was a deadline.
It's closer to the election. That's
Closer to the election, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be writing one.
Rachel, I believe Georgia has a letter to go too.
Okay, so maybe
Georgia Reynolds.
yeah.
Okay.
So we'll probably
Great.
just start spacing them out and sending them and being like, how about we're going to bombard you with letters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has the deadline to turn in petitions?
The deadline to turn in petitions has passed and no one submitted petitions. So I guess everyone's doing a write-in. Make sure you've got all of your little ducks in a row and having, not just you voting for yourself. Although I guess you can win an election that way as long as no one else knows that there's an election happening.
I mailed out little cards to everybody and said, "Hey, do me a favor, go vote."
I want to say one thing. Everybody who's running, make sure the people that you're having come vote for you knows what district they are in.
And how to spell your name.
Yes. How to spell your name and the district you're in.
Yes, that's true.
We find that people often have no idea what district they're in, so they be sure they know what district they're in when they vote for you.
Okay. So something in writing would help if you can, give them a card, and especially if they're not riding with you to vote.
And remember, while there is a law against handing out ballots yourself, there is no law against taking people to the polls.
Oh, that's true.
And we have to, Betsy Gorman is up for reappointment to STLS, representative of Chemung County.
Mm-hmm. She's with them.
So
there she is. There she is. I see her.
Hi. Hi, Betsy.
Here I am. Magic.
I guess I don't remember exactly, but shall I just make a
motion?
I make a motion that we appoint, is that the correct word? Betsy Gorman to be the representative to STLS from the Chemung County Library District. And will somebody?
I second it.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed?
No, I guess not.
and we want to thank you greatly, Betsy, for being willing to do this for us.
Well, thank you. And I just wanted to stop by your meeting and say thank you for allowing me to represent CCLD on the STLS board. It is, it's a nice opportunity. It's a good board, and so I appreciate your vote of confidence in me.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate your service.
Thanks.
Thank
so
you.
I will sign off. I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thanks for being here.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so there is no advocacy committee.
No.
We're not doing that.
Well, as part of the Advocacy Committee, we could be writing these articles for the newspaper, doing other things like that. And not just for the budget, but for other things, supporting the library. Everybody's had a tough time, but and there aren't very many people who subscribe to the newspaper now, but it's our one forum. That I don't know if others use online things or television things, but this is one way we can support the library.
Yeah.
Or more than one way.
Okay.
If you have other ideas, speak up.
I know that Jack was talking about making some kind of informational brochure back in the day. I don't know what's the name of that beyond plague.
No, I think we were waylaid by the virus, so that may be in the future.
If we did one, wouldn't have to be that elaborate, but we could leave it in the libraries, and as people came in, ask them to take it home with them and share it with their neighbor.
Yeah, Michelle Barrett is working on a new rack card. The board, excuse me, the oh gosh, Chamber of Commerce wanted us to give them more rack cards, so she's working on a new one. So
great.
That'll help a little bit.
Oh, good.
Yeah. That's good.
Is there any way we can assist with that, or is it mostly just she's working on it?
She's working on it. We have the standard template we use. I'll ask her though if she needs any assistance.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. Do we have an excuse to enter executive session?
Nope.
Okay, so we're going to skip executive session. Move. Thank you. Do we have any old business?
I just have a comment, and it probably is under old, perhaps. I just want to thank Holly for passing on my requests about the grant funds. I have learned so much about how much the people, the staff of the libraries are getting money-wise for various things through grants. And I had not really been aware of that until I asked. And Holly has made contact with a variety of staff members who have responded. And I am learning a lot about all of the things that they are applying for and getting. And I think we all ought to be aware of that as board members, that we're not only getting state money or other monies, but many of our staff members are applying for grants for various things, and that is really supplying an awful lot for the library. So I want to thank Holly for that.
Is that something you could present to us from what Holly has given you, or I mean, in specifics?
I could. She has emailed me from several of the staff members about the things that they are searching for or already have monies for, and I could make an email up and get it out to everybody, because I was very impressed and continue to be. So
that would be nice.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie.
All right. Any new business?
I move we adjourn.
We gotta wait. Hold that thought, Jack. Is there anyone of the public on here to express themselves?
Nope.
Okay, now Jack, make your motion.
I move we adjourn.
Okay, can I get a second?
Yeah, and
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, have a good night, everybody. Thank you for participating.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. The dog has it, has